Hello everybody, it is me, Real World Prepper, and on this episode I would like to kind of pick up where I left off the other day with prepping mistakes and how to avoid them. Like I mentioned in that video, I've got a lot of stuff to go over, and I only went over a little bit of it in that video, so I want to go over a little bit more of it, some more prepping mistakes and how we can avoid them. If you like the content you see in this video and on this channel, please hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate it very much. Here we go. Alright guys, diving right into it. Hey, first I wanted to say, check out my open sign. I only discovered that it does this yesterday. Who knew? Had this thing for a while and I never really spotted this little red switch right there that does that, because the on-off button is down here. So, tell me if this is too distracting and I won't do it again, but I kind of like the spinny part of it. Okay, we left off on number 6. Which was disregarding the role of comfort when it comes to being prepared. So let's jump into number 7. This one's going to be really interesting. Me, as a guy on the internet trying to offer some type of advice regarding prepping. Number 7, do not believe everything that you read on the internet or see on the internet. Check your sources, use common sense. You've heard me say many times, like if you're looking at a news story, you know, look at what the left has to say about it, look what the right has to say about it, you know, run it up the middle, everywhere in between, you know, use your discernment, figure out what's what. Same thing applies with prepping advice on the internet. This includes me and what I'm telling you, okay? Anything you hear me say, you know, don't believe everything that you hear. Check it out for yourself. You know, I'm not here to steer you wrong. I'm here to tell you what I think and assert my opinions about things. Some stuff that I have shared with you guys is factual and can be looked up and backed up. Some of it is merely conjecture, okay? And I have said that. I think I say that enough and every time, so there you go. Use your head, you should be fine. Number 8, relying on yourself and ignoring like-minded members of your community. When I first started prepping, I was kind of guilty of this. I kept quiet. I didn't tell anybody about my little secret, you know, OPSEC and all. You know, was you know, not to mention the fact that the ridicule factor. The more I got into it, the more I get into it, I realize you can't do it alone. You've got to have community. You got to have friends and family. You got to have people that are like-minded that you can, you know, get ideas from, that you can have support from. You can also offer ideas and support. You know, it's a two-way street. It should be. I find as I get to meet people who are in the prepping life, I find that, you know, for as much as I thought I did know, and I've never thought I knew everything, don't get me wrong. But for as much as I thought I did know, I've learned that I know a whole lot less than I thought I knew. And I'm learning things every day. Certainly since I've started this channel, I've learned a lot of things from you guys that watch and that comment. Friends I've met doing this, you know. So, you know, the importance of having a peer group and like-minded comrades, if you will, is it's one of the most helpful things you can do. You know, I believe we need a community. So, number 9, just because someone else is doing something doesn't mean that you should do it too. There's an unspoken rule in boating. I used to own a boat. Just because the other guy is doing it does not mean he's right or he knows what he's doing. So, the same rule applies to prepping. As someone who ingests a lot of internet content, like me, you've probably come across lots of people speaking with authoritative voices on the matter, expert advice on one topic or another. This is where you've got to employ your best prepping tool, which is that gray matter between your ears. You know, that should be your first go-to tool, the one that should be the sharpest, the one that should that you should hone and exercise daily, okay? So again, this includes advice and things that you may get from this very own show, okay? From anything I have to say. So you should be able to ask the question, you know, does it make sense to you? Can you afford it? What are your living conditions? Is the likelihood of event X, Y, or Z, you know, there in your area? You know, these types of things when you get advice from other people. So there you go. Number 10, falling victim to let me spit that out again. Number 10, falling victim to prepper procrastination, okay? I'll also call this prepper burnout. You know, you've read all the best books, and you've spent hours upon hours going through websites and YouTube videos and everything else that teaches and preaches preparedness, and including this one, let's say, and everything else out there, and you're ready to embark upon your preparedness journey, you know, but you sit on the fence. You keep taking in information and saying, I need to do this, I need to do this, we need to do this, looking at your family members, I need to do this, we need to do this, and nothing happens. The simplest way I can put it is just start. Just do something. Baby steps. I put a video out early in this channel 2 or 3 months ago called Baby Steps. Just baby steps. Start with a bag, you know. Start with a bag. You know, I mean, if you need a starting point, start with a bag. You know, fill it up with 3 days worth of supplies that you might need should you not be at home. There's a starting point. You got to start somewhere. Start with a few dollars. Start with a few minutes, you know, or an hour. Get something done. And just keep doing that a little bit every day, a little bit every time. Go to the store, a couple extra cans of beans, whatever. You know, you can do it. You don't want it to overwhelm you, and you don't want it to take over everything that you're doing, right? And so it's easy to procrastinate, I think, because of that too. But anyway, so there's some things to think about. Prepping mistakes. Number 11, obsessing about being behind the curveball. All right. I mean, think that could be anything, couldn't it? Being behind the curveball. I feel like that all the time in my prepping journey. You've heard me say, every leaf I turn over, there's 2 or 3 more that are laying there needing turned over. There's always stock to rotate. There's always supplies to purchase. There's always new skills to learn. Being worried and obsessed will only increase your stress in an already stressful period in life should we hit, you know, a SHTF situation. So just get over it and just do something. You know, that kind of goes along, I think, with number 10. Number 11 does. So number 12, feeling smug in thinking your prepping journey is over. I have been prepping personally for, I guess, 8 years now. And there's still much I want, much I think I need. For that matter, it's like I've come to learn that there's more that I believe I need. You know, I realize there's you know, holes in my bucket, right? And water's pouring out. And so I'm trying to plug up every hole, you know, turn over every leaf, as it were, and all that kind of stuff. So much I want to refine and improve and work on. And so, you know, that's part of it. So never feel like you're done. Doesn't mean you have to constantly be buying stuff. It's not about that. It's about constantly reevaluating your situation. And again, like I say, if you're storing up food, for example, there is a shelf life, you know, so manage that. Keep your skills honed. Go to the range, you know, exercise, you know, do drills. You know, all of the things that you're prepping for, keep it sharp. Don't pile up a bunch of stuff and a bunch of weapons and a bunch of gear, and you've gone out shot a few times, and you know you got 10 years worth of food and water sitting around, and sit back and go, well, all right, we're done. You know, don't do that. Don't do that. Do a personal risk assessment, and you will not feel smug at all. Okay. I'm going to stop there. We covered 6 in the first video. We just covered 6 in this one. There's some more. If you guys like this, let me know, and I'll keep doing it. I want to try and keep these videos relatively short so that, you know, I have a short attention span, so I don't want to watch super long videos. So I try and do that, but I understand how it is. I don't want to bore you guys with it. Excuse me. If you'd like to hear more, there are more. I could probably, at this pace, do another 2 for sure, maybe 3 more videos later on down the road on it. I'm not going to just be solely focused on this, but prepping mistakes and how to avoid them, Volume 2. And thank you for joining me on today's edition of The Real World Prepper. See you guys next time.